Before I get started with this video, I just want a quick disclaimer that I'm going to try to take this situation, this video, a lot more seriously than I would most things. I kind of have a tendency to make jokes and make light of things that I shouldn't, and a lot of times it does upset people who watch these videos, and I completely understand it. So from this point forward, there's going to be no jokes, completely serious, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So anyways, have you guys heard of gooning? Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Advil special video. Today we're going to be talking about something fucking abysmal, like usual. We never get to do anything nice. We don't get to do anything fun here. It's always dog shit. If you have a life, go to college, a significant other of some sort, you definitely haven't heard about what this video is about. And if I'm being honest, I'm completely jealous of you. If you want to turn back now, it's too late. I already have your view. You can't leave. But if you aren't aware, a massive commentary YouTuber by the name of JustARobot completely shit the bed. Yeah, that's a meta joke. You'll see it. You'll understand later. He made one of the worst drama expose videos I've probably ever seen in my entire time being online. The whole situation is kind of insane. It's gonna take a minute to explain it all. So sit back and relax because it's gonna need a lot of backstory. Let me just get a transition slide so you know what I'm thinking. Yeah, that. Yeah, good. Okay, cool. I know all you Advil fans are glad that the transitions are back. I'm never doing that again. So let's start off with who is Cinny. Cinny is an art YouTuber, mostly known for doing animations, quality up to the viewers' determination, animations of My Little Pony and Undertale characters. Now, she has amassed an insane amount of followers, and she is fairly popular in her niche of the art YouTuber community. Now, this is going to be important later, but Cinny has had a history of talking inappropriately to minors. She had a situation where she talked inappropriately to a 17-year-old when she was 19, but she made a solemn vow, a swear to herself, to never do that again, never interact with minors again, never do any of that stuff. So obviously, after promising that to her audience and to all of her supporters, she decided to talk inappropriately to multiple minors, not only in her 13+ Discord server, but in their DMs. What a responsible young lady. Now, all these screenshots came to light from a video by her roommate detailing her Discord escapades. Along with that, also alleged abuse and just many other things. And by the way, all this is alleged, even though there are screenshots for all the things involving the Discord servers. And then on top of that, there were 2 Google Docs that were released with almost 300 pages combined, and an insane amount of images from Discord DMs.
How long is this one? 188 pages! No! Ladies and gentlemen, a second doc has hit the channel.
Yeah, but now this is where our main character Jar comes in to White Knight and save the day. Thank God. Jar took a look at all this evidence. He read all the documents. He browsed all the files, and he decided Cinny's innocent. Wait, guys, she didn't do this. And so when Jar originally planned to make a video criticizing Cinny, he actually switched gears and decided to make a video supporting her. Now, the reasons for this will be talked about later in the video, but they are quite outstanding. He decided to switch gears mainly after reading all the evidence and talking to her privately, as at the end of the video, he has a full interview with her with Smash Ultimate gameplay in the background, like a G. But in Jar's video, his main points are that Cinny is innocent because, one being that the person who made the original document and Jar don't believe that Cinny is a pedophile. 2, Cinny would have talked like this to anyone. It doesn't matter that they were minors. She would have done this to anyone. They just so happen to be in her vicinity. 3, it's not the definition that Jar believes what a groomer is, because Cinny wasn't trying to have sex with them or send them nudes or anything, just sharing porn that they drew. How could she be a groomer? And 4, the pyrocynical situation. Now, the first 2, I'm sure you can obviously tell, are insanely ridiculous. I doubt I have to go super deep into detail about that. But I think it's insane to make an entire hour-and-a-half long video staking your entire career and reputation on a semantics and definition debate whether or not someone is a groomer or not, purely because it doesn't fit with the definition of what you believe a groomer is, instead of the main issue of this person sending porn and talking explicitly to minors. And along with that, bringing up the pyrocynical situation is absolutely insane, considering that whole thing was botched. And along with that, it's a completely different situation. Cinny knew about the 14-year-old that she was messaging age the entire time she was talking to him, and made comments about it multiple times in the screenshots. At the end of Jar's video, there was an entire interview with Cinny that was completely tone deaf, completely painting the victim like a fucking idiot, making Cinny look like another victim in an attempt to destroy this poor artist's life. This video is fucking awful. I don't think there's a single person that will disagree with the fact that this shit was absolutely embarrassing to make. But what was worse than that was JustARobot's response after this video got released and him talking on podcasts and live stream about the whole situation. It is extremely embarrassing. So pretty much as soon as Jar's video went live, he got into some immediate controversy, mostly in the comments and on Twitter, talking about how insane it is for him to basically spend an hour and a half defending a believed predator and also a self-admitted predator. So to try to counteract some of this and fight off the flames and do some damage control, Jar went on a popular commentary live stream, also known as Chud Logic, who does a lot of good work to try to defend himself as best as possible. On this stream, they touched on everything I brought up earlier, and they added some new stuff that it's so cool. Now, I'm not going to show this whole hour-long interview. Not only is it not my content, but I don't think anyone wants to watch that. No offense, Mr. Chud. I'm going to try to run down what I think is the most interesting and what I really think I can, talk about or add. So the first real thing that they address is what is grooming? Because with Jar's definition, it is someone who is talking to someone inappropriately for sex, typically a minor. And while this is a definition, probably a Twitter, Reddit definition, the real definition is prepping someone for something. So like what Chud says in the live stream, you can groom someone for a job or to be in a cult or to do something for you. And Jar's response to this example is oh my God.
That are like, being groomed for a position at a job, which is more acceptable and obviously not got any sort of negative implications.
So Cine was looking to get this person in their cult or hire them?
Okay, what sort of retarded point is that?
Now, Chud later, dude, I fucking hate calling him Chud. Now, Mr. Logic later presses Jar on this and asks him, why does grooming have to lead to something? And Jar really has no answer for it because I don't think it's something he could really talk his way out of. Now, after this, they really just touch on why Jar put out the video at all and the pyrocynical situation. Jar says he put out the video because he saw that so many people were attacking Cine and he thought he would give a new perspective with information that he thought was being taken out of context or not definitive grooming. And he equates a lot of this reasoning with the pyrocynical drama, saying that, well, everyone in the community thought that pyro was okay, so why isn't Cine okay?
I got convinced that after looking with what I had, that Cine might have been in the right, or not in the right per se, but not a groomer, and a lot of this drama was overblown mainly because of the pyro stuff. I mean, like, Pyro asked a 15-year-old to draw him as a thicker version of himself. He gets away with it, so I'm like, wait, how is that okay, but this isn't? And that's what I was like questioning myself on.
This is a point that Jar brings up a lot, comparing his current controversy or the situation he's talking about in a video with other situations. And this is something that, as someone who does this, and I think does this kind of content very well, I fucking hate when people do that. Blame me if you want for this take. It might be completely off base, but I think making your whole argument by comparing it to a different situation is fucking stupid. In my opinion, you need to look at every single situation like it's their own and base your own opinion on this situation specifically instead of what the community or what the audience believes it is, like Jar does consistently. In your video, you can make comparisons to the situation to make it easier for the audience to understand. That's perfectly fine, but basing your opinion on something that the community deems okay or not is fucking stupid. That is one of the big things that Jar continuously messes up on, not just on this, as you'll see later, historically repeating it over and over and over again. Now, one of the worst and most damning things to come out of this entire interview is Jar admitting that he didn't even look at the second document, which had worse information than the first one. The first one was tame compared to the second one, and he decided to just completely not look at it.
Did you look at the messages between Cine Bear and Eno in full?
Admittedly, no.
And his reasoning for this is because another commentary YouTuber by the name Kumo got access to his early draft of the video and he decided to put it out early. This led Jar to rush his video and just put it out without even looking at the new evidence, claiming that, I was thinking of maybe doing a part 2. What?
I was planning to do that. I just didn't expect Kumo to leak my video. I was planning to do, not today, yesterday. I was planning to upload the video today, but before I upload my video, I spend one day like double checking everything, doing extra research. And then he uploaded my video and then I was like, oh, fuck, now I guess I have to do this.
I can understand working on a video while you're researching, but having majority of your video finished enough to be leaked and for it to relatively stay the same and not even looking at the most important evidence is fucking baffling. And it turns out the motherfucker still hasn't read it.
Okay, so as we're having this conversation now, you have not seen the full conversation and therefore cannot fully comment on the contents of the conversation. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yes.
He still hasn't looked at it. And he said during the video, I'll take a look at it. But I don't know if that's true. Now, what I think everyone is really wondering, Advil, why'd you make references to gooning in the intro? Well, because of this. So the DMs between Jar and Cinny were leaked. And from this, it's very obvious that they had a less than accused commentator kind of relationship. Or Jar just kind of wanted their relationship to be more than just a journalistic interview for a video. There would be times where Jar would ask her for calls while he's trying to sleep and sending her things like, hey, you want to see my cock? And sending a picture of a chicken. Very uncouth things to ask someone that you are making a video on for being a predator. But not only that, he admits to finding Cinny attractive in this interview. Now his excuse is, hey, I'm a straight guy. I love tits. So, you know, if anyone was me, they would also want to, they would also want to, you know? Like a fucking moron. I'm sure everyone who's watching this video currently understands the issue. I don't think Jar does, and I still don't think he does. Let me say it clearly and slowly, so him and everyone else who doesn't get it can understand. The issue isn't this is how you talk to people. Issue is this is someone that you're making a video about with grooming allegations, child grooming allegations. And instead of taking it seriously and respecting not only the accused, but the victims, you are asking for sleep calls and saying, do you want to see my cock? And sending them non-stop garbage in their DMs. Another issue is in the DMs, he keeps on telling her, yo, I'm gonna fix this thing. I'm gonna fix it for you. Everyone's gonna love you again. And the reason he did that, as he says in this interview, is he wants another YouTube ally.
I want another commentator in my corner because I had others in my corner. I feel alone now. Like I'm just standing here and I need someone there to like look through my videos and say, oh, hey, can you change that or can you change this? Like, I love my roommate and all, but he doesn't know like this kind of stuff. He doesn't know like drama stuff.
So you specifically went about this in a way, one of your goals was to get the person who's accused of grooming and is engaged in egregious behavior in your corner because you wanted an ally.
If I could prove that they weren't a groomer, and yes, I did want an ally, yes.
This person currently has damning allegations right now, and you are trying to buddy up with that person. It's almost like a
conflict of interest. And a conflict of interest, which is a complete conflict of interest, with a conflict of interest beyond the conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's a phrase that's been bounced around a lot the entire interview. And so I think it's time for your boy Advil to come clean a bit. I used to work for Jar. Oh, I'm definitely gonna edit that as dramatic as possible. It's not that bad. I promise it's not that bad. Also, for continuity's sake, there's a fish up there. It's new. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. So, it's true, I used to work for JustARobot, the target and topic of today's video. This section is going to be a lot less script heavy. It's not going to be a lot of bang, bang, boom editing. It's just going to kind of be me talking. I might have screenshots, I might not, depending on if I think it's cool or not. Because I don't want to, I'm really not trying to expose him of anything evil. As much as the title, which might be my experience with JustARobot, might seem like I am exposing everything. I'm not really. It's just the title would bang. I was an editor for him for not that long, actually. I started working for him around when my first Daft Pina video came out. If I'm not mistaken, Antoon sent it to him. I reached out to him. He reached out to me. Said it was pretty good. Asked if I wanted to be in his Daft Pina video. I said yes. I did my part. I edited some of it. And he asked if I wanted to edit for him. And honestly, I don't know Jar that well. I'm not like one of his super close friends. I'm not besties with Mr. Robot. But I feel like as someone who has interacted with him in any means, especially someone who interacted with him non-drama at all position, like with him and Cinny and everyone else that chats have been leaked from him, it's usually involving drama or involving someone with drama. But his and I's were very non-drama filled. I watched LioConvoy's call with him, and there's a lot of things that he said that kind of perked my ears a bit. And the main one that I kind of agree with, especially with my relationship with Jar, if you want to call all of that. Leo said he's a guy who loves favors and using people for whatever means justify the ends. So if he needs someone to edit a video or to defend them for something, he'll ask him for that. But it's not really met with anything deeper. He will ask you for something and do whatever for something, and then he won't ask you how your day was. It's a very favor forward type of relationship. And he definitely had that with me. Even beyond being an editor, I've edited for a few people and majority of them try their best to be friends or friendly with me. And the way Jar interacted with me was definitely different than them. If you aren't aware, I'm a Make-A-Wish guy. I did a video about my wish, and I am extremely disabled, not physically. Don't comment that again. And there'd be times where I would be late to edit something or something like that, and he just wouldn't ask how I was doing, ask how I was feeling. I would be like, hey man, I'm on painkillers, but I'll get this video done. And he'd be like, awesome. Which he doesn't have to check in on me. He doesn't have to ask how I am. It was a bit strange. Or like when I would ask him to read something for a video or be in one of my videos, or an opinion on a video I'm working on, or just an idea I have. His response would be something like, I will maybe do this if you finish 5 parts of my video. If you can edit 5 parts of my video in a month. Which I think is a little strange, but that's just me. To go along with that, I don't think he liked me very much. I don't know why. In the Leo interview and a few other things I've seen him in, due to this controversy, a lot of people make the allegation or claim that he is super numbers focused. He cares mostly about how many numbers a person gets. And when I was working for him, like the peak of me working for him, like every month, every 2 months, I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, maybe 2,000, but I think I was definitely closer to 1,000, like fresh 1,000, and maybe he didn't see value in that. I genuinely cannot say, but I asked him. I did this video where I made a new commentary channel to see how easy it is to be a commentator from scratch, because you hear it's easy and whatever. I did a segment where I interviewed a bunch of well-known commentary YouTubers, and I asked him to be in it. His section is the shortest out of everyone I talked to, and the reason for that is because there's multiple times where he just called me the worst editor he had, and he might be joking, which I might be sensitive. I might not get the joke. I just didn't think it would instill confidence in the audience if they heard that the person I edited for says I'm the worst editor on his payroll. But seeing how he interacts with people, especially Cinny, makes a lot of sense. There were things that would come up where he would kind of freak out and get stressed out about how people would perceive him for X, Y, and Z things. Some conflict that happened with a few videos I worked on, and he was very stressed about making sure that he did damage control as fast as possible, even if he believed he was in the right. But I'm honestly not trying to shit on him too much, which might be shocking because some of what I'm saying is kind of not the nicest. Now, after everything that has happened, Mr. Robot put out a response with receipts video talking about the video and the aftermath of it and reacting and responding to everyone's videos on him. And this response was kind of dog shit. I'm not going to go over the whole thing because a lot of it I think is fucking cooked. I'll summarize what I think is the most important to what we've talked about in this video. Now, the apology is split up into sections. The first one is the last few months, giving context on what's happened. And then there's 2 sections about Cinny, and that's primarily what I'm going to be focusing on. I don't care about the other stuff. Now, in this section, Jar gives context as to why he did certain things. He talks about him not reading the documents fully and not having all the information. He cites a new document that came out a couple days before his video came out. Coincidentally, the same day that Kumo leaked his video. And he, again, doubles down that if Kumo hadn't leaked it, the villain of the story hadn't leaked it, the video would have been fine.
Kumo uploading my video ruined a lot of things for me. It kept me from reaching out to Jack and doing further research on the topic. Even if I didn't upload my unfinished draft, I still would have received a ton of backlash. Just not as much backlash as I'm receiving now. Because of my lack of research on the situation, I did not understand how bad Cinny really was.
Even though I don't think that's true at all. I don't think there's any universe that he would have read that document document, there's a lot of stuff that slipped through the cracks on his video that even in this, he admits with all the screenshots he didn't know about. So I doubt with the video almost done and him staying up every night working on it, he would give a single fuck about a new document coming out. I could be wrong, but I feel like he would have either not seen it or just ignored it to finish the video.
Question to you is, the final draft you were going to put out, the final video, was it close enough to what you put out?
If people gave me like no pushback and said, yeah, this looks like a solid video, and me and my roommate didn't decide to look at the doc in detail, which we were planning to, but if we didn't, which I'm pretty sure we would have, but if that didn't happen, yes, that would have been it.
And then afterwards, he addresses Cindy and his relationship to her and the simping allegations, as he calls them. And I think this part is also very strange to me. But Advil, why is it strange? Thank you for asking. Mostly because Jar is very firm in the fact he has no romantic interest in Cindy at all. There's no chance, nothing like that. And if that's true, good for you. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you don't want to fuck an alleged groomer. Good job, buddy. I'm proud of you. The issue is, I don't think he truly understands why people got to this conclusion and why what he did was an issue. He talks about how he talked to her with the, you want to see my cock? And nice pussy DMs. And he says, that's just my humor. I'm just a silly guy who loves vagina and dick. Hey, I would do that with anyone.
I'm gonna be real here. Me saying want to see my cock, followed up by a picture of a chicken, or me commenting nice pussy when someone shows me their cat, are common jokes I've made multiple times with multiple different people.
And he addresses the sleep calls, saying, I have really bad insomnia. I sleep on call with everyone. I'm a whore. I sleep with everyone. I'm a little sleep call slut. I'll do it with anyone and everyone.
I have incredibly bad sleep insomnia. I have blackout curtains, and I often use different methods to help me sleep, such as melatonin, NyQuil, and more. I even have earplugs and use a fan as background sound. Talking to someone as I fall asleep, waiting for the pills to kick in, is one of the easiest ways to help me fall asleep. Falling asleep on call with someone was literally done to help me sleep. I was taking Adderall to finish up the Cine video, so that is one of the reasons why I had such a hard time passing out. I used to do what many people have referred to as sleepy time calls on Skype all the time.
Now, obviously, there are a lot of problems with this. Some people might have an issue with the idea of him having a thing for her. I really could care less, honestly, like genuinely care less if he fell in love with this girl. My problem with the sleepy time calls or whatever they are, and his entire interaction with Cindy is purely built on the fact of them having a really weird personal relationship. And I don't think he has much room to be upset when people assume that he has a thing for her. Opinion, I definitely think he has some kind of weird power imbalance thing with it. It's saying constantly how he's going to get her out of this controversy and what he's going to do for her, stuff like that. It really is extremely uncomfortable, and it completely breaks trust with not only his fans by enforcing the belief that either every video he's done or every video he does in the future is biased now because he might be trying to buddy up with the person and do sleepy time calls with them, but also it's just incredibly immoral and fucked up to do not only to the victims but also Cindy herself. This weird sort of power trip manipulative thing. And then he ends this segment talking about the ally thing. He said multiple times he wants a new ally for his channel or for him in the YouTube space. He clarified more on that, saying that the art commentary community fucking hates him, and to support and help him when he's trying to defend people who are also wrongly accused of things like him, like all of my other friends like that. And then he ends that part saying, you know, it's just so hard being a internet hero. This is why people don't do it. I guess this is where I stop.
But stopping commentators from slandering people, even if it's a niche group of commentators, is an absolute pipe dream, and I'm giving up on it. Granted, I always hoped that they would join me and help me help out other people who were slandered, but it almost never happened. Putting my channel and reputation at risk to help another YouTuber rarely gets me views or any form of benefit. Often it means I will have to deal with their haters from now on, or they'll come after me for not helping them out enough. I'm not the best judge of character, and I think it's time I stop trying to be a little internet hero. I now understand more than ever before why other people don't do this.
I don't think he has the right to be acting like we bullied him out of something great, out of doing something fantastic for the community. We bullied him out of fucking up more things. I don't know if he meant it like this. If he didn't, then that's my bad. But the way it came across is JustARobot feels like he's a martyr for trying to save people who are wrongly canceled, for trying to be the hero, for trying to save the fucking fucking day when he is quite obviously the fucking opposite. During the entirety of response or apology, Jar has this woe is me type attitude or tone in his voice, and it's extremely confusing. It's a similar tone to like if your childhood dog of 20 years bit the neighbor, they had to put him down, and then you had to go apologize to that neighbor. That's what he sounds like. What he's apologizing for is not that at all. Also, this is such an annoying and kind of asshole thing to bring up, but in his original Cindy video, he shit on her roommate for having a GoFundMe at the end of it, trying to get some rent money so they can move out. In the comments of Jar's response video, he has a GoFundMe to his friend in need, so it's different. I just thought that was a little interesting, but that's his response video, and wow, it was really good. I don't understand why he said a lot of the things he did or made a lot of the claims he did. It still baffles me to this day. And I wish I could do something about it, like talk to him and ask him why he chose the things he did. Well,
hello, sadly Advil couldn't join us today because he's working on getting his second Make-A-Wish. So instead, here is a retelling of the interview between Advil and JustARobot. Please enjoy. How are you doing and handling everything? I've been better, to be honest. Sometimes it just feels like the world is against me. I always knew something like this could happen eventually, so I'll just have to face it. Yes, I'm hurt, but I'm not resorting to self-harm or contemplating anything drastic. After all, if you can't handle the challenges of the internet, maybe it's best to get off the internet. Do you understand the flaws with your Cindy video and why it was criticized so heavily? There are definitely too many to count, but I'll admit I went too easy on her. I was more focused on making her look better than on being objective. A lot of my arguments were weak, and the video ended up being an unscripted mess. Do you think in any way that you had an unfair treatment directed towards you compared to others in the community? Yes. I've seen others do worse than me without facing as much backlash. I think I've even had more videos made about me than Cindy, and I believe she's in the wrong more than I am. Why do you keep mentioning Kumo and bringing up his name anytime you have to take accountability for not doing enough research? I think I may have messed up my wording, or perhaps you misunderstood me. What I meant is that I had not uploaded the video and people have discovered it through Kumo's pre-upload, not even a re-upload since it wasn't released yet. I would have still faced backlash. People would have seen it on his channel and assumed Jar didn't upload this because he saw the backlash from Kumo's video. I wasn't suggesting that more research would have still led to backlash. I apologize if my wording wasn't clear on that point. I brought his name because I wasn't prepared for the situation. I wanted to think things through more and look over what other people have said on the topic. I never dealt with someone uploading my content before I'd fully thought things through. A lot of people have pointed out that the editing seemed finished, but the same could have been said about the original video I made on Cindy, which was meant to criticize her. Honestly, I could have just made a few adjustments, just 10 to 20%, changes to the latest draft, and created a much better video that most people would have agreed with. Why did you consistently tell Cindy confidently and consistently that you can get her out of this, even though you stated multiple times after the video's release that you were not confident with this video and consistently nervous about the perception of it while working? To be honest, I was partly riding the momentum from my previous work with Peach, Antunes, and Mary. At the time, Kumo was already changing some people's opinions about her. Keyword some. I believed that with my support, we could further help her. I thought she had been unfairly slandered and wasn't as bad as people were portraying her. I was also trying to uplift her. However, after her response, I began to feel less confident. Here is the last voice message I sent to her.
Listen, Cindy, I can't promise this will fix everything for you, or even anything for you. I don't want you to feel like you have a false sense of hope. I'll do what I can, but that's it. I helped Peaches out, but the allegations on you are much more rough. I'm gonna do what I can to help, because I know this shit is and will leak into your real life.
Why do you think it'd be a good idea to have a group of allies surrounded by you who don't have a clean track record to the point of even wrongfully having accusations as serious as Cindy's or others? I mentioned that no one is perfect and everyone makes mistakes. I believe people should be held accountable for their actual actions, not for fabricated claims. Take Antunes for example. While he used trans suicide as a punchline, some people were labeling him as a paedophile, which was an unfair addition. At the same time, Peaches faced a lot of backlash for things they didn't even do. I thought that anyone who had gone through such an experience would understand the importance of not letting the same thing happen to others. It's similar to how many people who work in rehabilitation are former addicts themselves. I genuinely believed I was doing good by working with Peaches after the drama was over. When I faced unfair criticism, I always hoped someone would come to my defense, but that rarely happened. Even now, I wish someone would just come in and save the day. To conclude, I believed that even if Cindy was in the wrong and I made a mistake by defending her, I could simply take down my video and adjust the situation. That's exactly what I did. In the worst case scenario, if Cindy was wrong and I was wrong for supporting her, at least I tried to do the right thing. However, I now realize that my actions only made things worse. Moving forward, I want to focus on topics that are less controversial.
So what are my final thoughts on the whole JustARobot, Cinny Bear, shitty video situation? If I'm being honest, not many. Recently, I've become hyper aware of terrible commentary / drama type videos. It's a genre that has become extremely popular. It's kind of at its pinnacle, and not like people making it and that's their main genre, but random people making them. And it's really strange. There will be people who have never touched drama, never even tried it, barely even watched it, try to throw their hat in the ring to get some good views, because it is good views. And from this, typically, you get some of the worst content and worst commentary videos there are, purely because they don't know how to do it. And it's really disappointing to see someone who is a veteran in this genre fail pretty much on every account. A lot of videos I have planned for the future fall under this category also of failed commentary videos, so watch out for that. I think the main thing that we need to take away from this is what is important and what is not as someone who does videos like this. I think at a certain point of success and relevance and continuously doing somewhat well with either your audience or the perceived audience of people who watch you can put you on this high horse, especially when your content is all about you and your moral opinion. It can kind of trick you to think that you're somewhat immortal, even if you know you're not. And I think an important lesson that anyone who's watching this, especially other commentary people, especially smaller commentator people, and me, need to take away from this is you are always vulnerable to make mistakes and do something wrong. And if you do, just own up to it. The thing that JustARobot did was double down over and over and over again. And while some parts weren't his fault and some parts in the original video he made were good, didn't take accountability when he should have. He compromised views, the opinions of fans versus what is actually right. A lot of people ignore the actual issues and the actual things that affect victims for the sake of views or for social relevance or to stay on top of it. And I've been guilty of this, and I know plenty of people who have been guilty of this, and there will be people in the future who are guilty of this. But make sure if you want to make these videos, or you are making these videos, or you're gonna make these videos in the future, you don't do that. Wow, that was deep. Who would have thought? But I think that's all for me today. I appreciate you watching. I got some other banger videos, some more serious ones, some less serious ones. You can click those somewhere. And follow me on Twitter. I'm pretty funny. Bangers every day. And check out my other videos, because if you watch them, then they get recommended to more people. So please. Also subscribe. I'm almost at 4K, which would be fucking dope. But honestly, I think that's it for me today. I appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.
Breakfast with a bitch named Tiffany, Wrist gave me stint cause it's ivory, Got your mommy with me now, irony, Trying to pipe my dentist, fake a cavity, What? I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up.